and get 2 for $19.95. Order now.
To order Instagon, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-388-6500 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Or call 1-800-388-6500.
I'm so excited about school, and I'll keep on wanting to go. I never want to miss one day of school because I'm so excited about my grades that I just gotta wiggle.
At Sylvan Learning Center, success isn't just how well a student does, but how good a student feels.
People used to joke about how dumb I was, and now everybody's like, we better listen to him because he's pretty smart.
Call Sylvan Learning Center. Find out how we assess each student's learning skills and how we personalize programs to help them catch up or get ahead.
I've always been pretty good in math, so I started going to this accelerated program at Sylvan, and now I'm like this total math whiz. It's weird.
8 out of 10 Sylvan students improve their math or reading skills by 1 full grade level in only 5 months. To help your child succeed, call Sylvan Learning Center today at 1-800-EDUCATE. Success is learned.
Tonight on Internight, can the soup Nazi refuse to serve paying customers? Can Kramer sue the butter company for his sunburn? America's best lawyers weigh in on America's #1 show, next on Internight.
Live from our MSNBC studios, here is John Gibson.
Hi, everybody. It is Seinfeld night and a special edition of Internight about the parts of Seinfeld you never saw. The lawsuits. God knows how many legal offenses we have seen over the years on Seinfeld. But because it's fiction, those suits were never filed. Well, tonight, our fine legal panel will look into those offenses. Can George be sued for giving his kosher girlfriend lobster? Could Kramer have been sued for the death of a neighbor's parrot after the bird swallowed the key to Kramer's strongbox? Could Jerry have been prosecuted for posing as a mailman to save Newman's job? Hello, Newman. How about the bad advice Elaine gave a woman whose arms don't swing when she walks? Any litigator will tell you there might be a case here if the defendants, Jerry, Kramer, George, Elaine, actually had any money to go after. Does the Seinfeld cast have any money? Oh, mama, do they ever. Let's take a look at the story from NBC's Mike Jensen.
Seinfeld is a money machine.
It's bigger than Titanic. It will make more money than any television series in history.
Alan Horn is not just another Hollywood film mogul blowing smoke. As head of Castle Rock, the studio that produces Seinfeld, his files are stuffed with the names of millionaires, spawned by TV's most profitable show ever.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Financially, everyone who's been associated with the show has benefited. Everyone.
Seinfeld writers this season were paid at the rate of $1 million a year. Directors at the rate of $2 million a year.
Seems reasonable.
Cast members Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Michael Richards, $13 million a year.
I'm loaded up, baby.
And the star, Jerry Seinfeld, got $22 million this year. $1 million for each new episode.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not at all.
Jerry turned down $110 million for a final season of new shows.
It's all just slipping away. And you're letting it happen.
For each minute on the air, Jerry would have made almost $250,000.
Life is amazing.
Amazing because 20 years ago, Jerry Seinfeld was making $25 a night doing stand-up at comedy clubs like this.
You know, I remember when I was a kid growing up, kids would make fun of my name like you wouldn't believe. Jerry Dingleberry and Sein smelled.
Nobody makes fun of him now. He's a legend, a very rich one. He made a grand total of $66 million last year alone.
Speaking of having it all,
he makes more than Tom Cruise, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Roseanne, Celine Dion.
I had you love, I had it all.
Now Jerry has it all. And even though the show is ending, his money machine is just getting warmed up. He'll rake in upwards of $200 million over the next decade from reruns, his annuity from 9 years of playing himself on TV.
It's an amazing thing. You make money without doing anything.
He'll never have to work again, which is a wonderful place to be when you're in your early 40s.
NBC, which put Seinfeld on the air, also made a fortune, charging $500,000 for 30-second commercials, making profits estimated at $150 million a year, just for Seinfeld.
So it's over?
It is over for NBC, but not for Castle Rock, the producer. Its big payoff is just beginning.
Seinfeld in syndication will gross over $1.5 billion, and all of that is profit.
Cash? You've got to be kidding. What kind of gift is that?
Castle Rock is selling Seinfeld reruns to TV stations at unheard-of prices. One station in New York reportedly paying $300,000 a week for 5 years, because the reruns pull in huge audiences, and the stations make a fortune from advertisers. It could last for decades.
We believe this series has the potential to be like Lucy, an evergreen kind of show.
So this worked out pretty good.
Good? How about great? In just 9 years, Jerry Seinfeld made himself rich beyond belief and took a lot of others along for the ride of a lifetime.
Showmanship, George. When you hit that high note, you say goodnight and walk off.
Walk off with a smile and a pot of gold. Mike Jensen, NBC News, New York.
So they got the money, and if Seinfeld were a reality, and if they all got into as much trouble as we see them get into every week, would all of this money have been spent on lawyers and judgment? Are Seinfeld antics simply life, or are they actionable? Bert Katz, actionable or not?
Oh, some could be very actionable, and I've got the help of Judge Judy, so we're in real trouble here tonight.
Raoul Felder?
There'd be some great lawsuits. The question is, can we collect from anybody? Can you collect from a fictional character? But the lawsuits are great, some of them.
Nancy Grace, is it really a fictional character? It's Jerry.
I say there's some great lawsuits, but once you put one of those characters on the stand, the jury would fall in love with him, and you'd never get a penny out of him.
John Q. Kelly, would you bring one of these suits?
We'd have some great suits, and we'd have a lot of fun, a lot of laughs collecting on them, too, John.
Joe Tacopina would defend the suits. My guy got to pay because your soup Nazi doesn't give you soup?
Champion of the downtrodden, John. I see a lot of victims in these episodes, and I think they need a good, strong defense.
All right, let me formally introduce the guests. In Los Angeles, Burton Katz, former Los Angeles Superior Court judge. He will be our judge here tonight, as always. In New York, Raoul Felder, a family law attorney. Also in New York, John Q. Kelly, a civil attorney. In the studio, Joe Tacopina, a criminal defense attorney, and Nancy Grace, a former prosecutor and presently an anchor on Court TV. The first episode is when George's betrothed, Susan, died because she was licking the cheap envelopes he bought for their wedding invitations. Let's take a look at Susan Dead.
She's, gone.
Dead?
I'm so sorry, George.
Yeah, me too.
Poor Lily.
Nancy Grace, can somebody be criminally prosecuted for buying wedding invitation envelopes so cheap the glue actually kills the bride-to-be?
Look, all I can say is he had motive and opportunity. George is looking for trouble.
Joe, would you take this defense case?
I didn't, John, think we were really going to get into an argument over Seinfeld, but it's actually going to happen now. Nancy's absolutely the most vigorous, overzealous prosecutor in the history of American jurisprudence. I'd take this case in a second. We'd have an acquittal in about a second.
I find it funny he never licked an envelope. I think that's circumstantial evidence.
Judge Burton Katz, can you get a directed verdict on this case?
I think so. I think, in fact, if not, it won't go that far. I think a summary judgment I'm about to grant. This is ridiculous unless you can show some
You're
intent,
biased,
some knowledge,
Bert.
Wait a minute, Nancy. Unless you can show some foreseeability that they would know that this was toxic.
Well, how about he's just so cheap? Isn't there something foreseeable about being so cheap that there's some consequences that you ought to have to pay?
John, absolutely not. You're not. Am I assuming because I buy a cheap envelope that somehow there's poison that's attached to the glue? I don't think so.
John Kelly, how about the civil suit? I mean, surely the family can do something about a wrongful death.
Oh, sure. We get rich on this one. We go after the manufacturer of the glue. We go after the manufacturer of the envelope. We get the wholesaler that sold the envelope. We get the retailer. And we get that George for trying to cut corners, too. He comes in with dirty hands.
Hey, you know about a criminal and a civil case.
Ralph Felder, I think John's missing the point. The deep pockets here are the Seinfeld folks. Shouldn't you be going after them?
Wait a second. Maybe the people, it's strict liability here. You sue everybody. It's product's liability. You sue the manufacturer, the guy who grew the trees. You sue everybody. And between them, they got plenty of money here.
Yeah, but
I mean, res ipsa loqua, it speaks for itself. You lick an envelope, you're dead.
Raul, you're absolutely right with respect to the manufacturers and the distributors, but we're talking about George now. How would George know?
All right.
He has a point there. You know,
before, Raul, you're going to want the next one. Yeah. Fredo the dead bird. This is about the parrot who died swallowing
patricide.
Kramer's key.
It's a funny thing about that bird dying. I hid the key in Fredo's food dish. That's a weird coincidence.
Bert, you killed Fredo.
Fredo was weak and stupid. He shouldn't have eaten that key.
Kramer, I need those cufflinks, but now they're in the box and the key is in the bird. What are we going to do?
You just answered your own question.
Oh, no.
I'll get the shovel.
Dig up the bird. Nancy Grace,
hey,
if you kill a bird...
I've already got two causes of action here. Animal cruelty and defacing a grave.
Joe Tacopina, how could Kramer possibly know that the bird was going to eat the key, which he hid in the bird's feed dish, because he needed the key hidden?
John, this is way too serious. I just cannot, you know, the bottom line is he's guilty of administrative code violation.
He dug the bird up out of his grave, Joe. You're going to stand by and let that happen?
Absolutely. It's a vermin, a disgusting diseased animal that had a key.
Excuse me.
Now, wait a minute. The last time I did this with the cats, I got bad email. Let me not go there. Birds are beautiful.
Bert, you going to defend birds or what?
I got to tell you, I love birds, but I got to tell you something. Another summary judgment is being granted right here.
You're biased.
Wait a minute.
No, Nancy,
for the defender. Nancy, there's no foreseeability that the bird is going to consume the key.
You put the key in the dish and you expect the bird not to eat it?
Kramer posed as a doctor. Is that a felony or just bad practice? We will get into it with our panel after this quick break. Seinfeld on Internet right after this.
Is the envelope company responsible for the death of George's fiancée? Should Kramer be careful with his secondhand smoke? Seinfeld goes to court on Internet today at 5 Eastern.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. But the medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers. Ultra Strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
Now you can feel better and move better for less. See this Sunday's paper for a $1 off coupon.
You're looking at someone who just bought a house without a down payment. How? He called 1-800-71-FIXED for the Ditech 125 Dream Loan. With your good credit, you too can finance up to $500,000 with no down payment. Even better is the extra cash for new furniture, to pay off bills, or whatever else is on your list. Now you can buy that house without a down payment. Call 1-800-71-FIXED for the 125 Dream Loan today.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the Sunday New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And when you call now, you'll get 50% off the regular home delivery price.
I enjoy waking up and having the Sunday New York Times waiting for me. I know it'll tell me things that I won't hear, read, or see anywhere else.
I get international and cultural news, and I get a jump on the week ahead.
Call now to order, and you'll get the book review, travel, arts and leisure, week in review, and the New York Times Magazine.
On Sunday mornings, we catch up on what we really love. She goes straight for arts and leisure. I check out the magazine.
So call now to enjoy the Sunday New York Times for 8 weeks with home delivery at 50% off.
Hi. I'd like to start getting the Sunday New York Times at home.
I think the only thing I enjoy more than doing the crossword puzzle is actually finishing it.
Call now, 1-800-333-8050, and get the Sunday New York Times delivered to your home every weekend.
For me, Sunday was made for the New York Times.
Everybody here at Play Now is just very impressed with you, but I'm sure you've heard that before.
Well, no.
And I don't want you to think that anyone's going to treat you any differently just because of your handicap.
Handicap? Oh, I'm not handicapped.
I'm sorry. Differently advantaged.
See, I didn't mean that.
Of course, you will have your own private, fully equipped bathroom.
When do I start?
George fakes a handicap in order to get a job. John Q. Kelly, it violates political correctness. Is it a violation of a law? Is this a criminal action or a civil action?
It's a civil action. I hope he was wired when that conversation was taking place, too. He'd have a very good action based on...
Well, who has the action? George?
Yeah.
Against who?
Sure, against
But he's not handicapped, John.
Well, I know, but...
So what is the action?
Well, then I'm getting my role playing wrong here. I think we're looking at what the role they're playing, assuming he was.
Assuming he was.
It would be actionable against the employer for acknowledging and taking that into consideration during the course of the interview.
But don't you have to be handicapped to sue for discrimination because you're handicapped?
I think you can make the argument that George is handicapped.
Just a crazy question.
Raoul Felder, if you get a bathroom out of it as a condition of the job, is it worth taking the risk?
You know, it's like Paula Jones. No detriment to her. He did better. Besides,
you're right. He got a private bathroom.
I don't see any problem here. I mean, if he said, say anything, if it gets him the job, fine. The only thing the employer could do is fire him for misrepresenting what his skills are. But here he did better. How many employees get their own bathroom?
Not many. Now, the faking it issue moved on to Kramer, who faked himself as a doctor to help George through a crisis, actually diagnosed a patient with cancer.
Yes, let's have a look-see. Okay, fiber from shirt on left shoulder. I have to keep my eye on that.
How long have you been doing this, Dr. Van Nostrand?
Oh, a long, long time. Yes, I've seen moles so big they have their own moles. Freckles that cover 2 men.
So how am I looking?
Oh, so far so good.
Nancy Grace, what is the penalty, should you suffer one, for pretending to be a doctor when you're Kramer?
Well, Kramer's definitely going to be kicked out of the AMA, the American Medical Association, #1. But #2, his diagnosis may have kept that patient from seeking treatment elsewhere.
Now that, George, that's hard to refute, Joe.
Yes, no, Nancy might be right here, for once.
Go ahead and give in.
John, this actually may be a felony offense in action. That you cannot hold yourself out as a medical professional if in fact you're not. In New York, you could be prosecuted.
Bert Katz, when you are obviously not a medical professional, when you tell the patient that you've seen moles upon moles and you're picking fiber off his shoulder, isn't the patient on his own?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, what you're doing is compounding the situation by creating a false assumption that maybe you're okay or that you have something and you have to do something that may hurt you ultimately, and or refrain from doing something that will hurt from you. Seeing a real doctor, you could even be tried if the person died as a result of that bad advice on implied malice, second-degree murder.
Hey, Bert, OJ didn't get you this excited.
Wait a minute, and there are
Bert, OJ didn't get you this excited.
Wait a minute, I want to tell you something, and there are criminal statutes that make it a crime to impersonate a doctor, so he's in real deep.
Faking it is a big theme in Seinfeld, faking it here, faking it there. Jerry faking himself as a mailman to save Newman, that's got to be a federal offense.
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Mail on Sunday?
Oops.
I didn't get the transfer. They knew it wasn't me doing my route.
How did they know?
Too many people got their mail. Close to 80%. Nobody from the post office has ever cracked the 50% barrier. It's like the 3-minute mile.
I tried my best.
Exactly. You're a disgrace to the uniform.
Raul Felder, Jerry's federal offense here. How are you going to get him off it?
As a former federal prosecutor, I would say number 1, federal crime to impersonate any government official. Number 2, crime, interference with the United States mail.
John Q. Kelly, he seemed to improve the U.S. mail. Does that get him off?
I think it'd be a mitigating factor. I think technically he committed a couple of crimes. He'd probably get a slap on the wrist.
This would be a 2-second.
Is it a crime to relieve yourself in public? That happened. Also, later in the show, the famous soup Nazi and who commits the crime there. We'll be right back in a minute.
Tomorrow on CNBC Squawk Box.
Meet 2 new names on Wall Street, IPO's Unicapital Corp and Lowe's Cineplex Entertainment, plus investment ideas from Jim Rogers and a list of stocks to watch.
CNBC Squawk Box, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern. Tonight on CNBC's The Edge, turmoil continues in Indonesia, causing market jitters to spread from Asia to other emerging country funds. A look at what investors need to know about the volatility ahead. Get the CNBC Edge tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern.
I don't invest for a living, so I'm not comfortable judging what risk is right or too much, whatever. That's what I have Oppenheimer funds for.
Oppenheimer funds, the right way to invest.
Let me wrap you in my warm and tender love.
All it takes to make Velveeta salsa dip is some Velveeta, Taco Bell salsa, and a few minutes. Because you have better things to do at a party besides cook. Velveeta, made to melt.
Why does Tums control acid faster than Pepsid AC? Because they work on your stomach acid in totally different ways. Tums Calcium naturally, rapidly neutralizes acid so it works fast. Pepsid AC's famotidine has to travel through your bloodstream, so it takes at least 40 minutes to block natural acid production. So why does Tums work on acid faster and cost less, and Pepsid AC works slower and costs more?
Good question.
Sure, I want to be involved in my investments, but not overwhelmed. And our financial advisor has us where we get what we need to be confident.
Oppenheimer funds, the right way to invest.
Somebody's got something on the griddle. Maybe it's Kramer.
No, he's up on the roof getting some sun with the butter. Oh, no.
Butter? Kramer.
Oh, man. I think I cooked myself.
Look at your skin.
Oh, stick a fork in me, Jerry. I'm done.
Kramer rubbing butter all over himself and cooking around the horn here. Should there be a warning label on butter to protect people like Kramer? Joe Tacopina first.
Yeah, John, sure.
No?
It'd be like saying there should be a warning label on tires not to run under them. I mean, that's silly. Of course, any human being knows.
Like putting a label on a power saw not to use it to cut your fingernails.
We agree again, John.
Nancy,
what?
Nancy Gray, hang on, Bert. Nancy, you're not going to go to Kramer's rescue here? Isn't there somebody you can sue about getting burned from butter?
Sure, you can sue and maybe get a settlement, but never a jury verdict.
Judge?
Hey, how about the top of the apartment complex?
I can't believe.
Sunning.
I can't believe that Nancy wouldn't try and file on this. The truth of the matter is...
I'm now thinking about the apartment complex, allowing him up there to get burned that way.
Let me tell you something. There's no reasonable, foreseeable use of butter on the body for purposes
Wait a
of
minute,
getting sun
Bert, you never rubbed butter on yourself?
Before we run out of time, how about the whole issue of relieving oneself in public?
Where have you been?
I was arrested for urinating.
Me too. You what?
Uromycetitis. It's very serious, you know.
Jerry, look at my fish. Is he?
No, but he's not looking good.
Please, we can't find our car. Please, just drive us around the parking lot to find our car. My fish are dying.
Sorry, I can't do it.
I can see not caring what happens to us. We're human, but what about the fish? The fish.
Sorry.
That's right, go. Go home to your dumbbells.
Raul Felder, what about the fish?
The fish are dead. I didn't quite get it.
Well,
get that.
you didn't quite get that one. John Q. Kelly, if your client has a ticket for urinating in public, do you just tell him to pay it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
You're sort of
now I
have a criminal
understand.
record.
Yeah, I did connect the fish with the urinating. Well, listen, it may have been such a thing that was exposed of such more moment that the law wouldn't recognize, or it may be so good test.
The lawyers are working their brains overtime on this one. After the news break, isn't it all right going around stealing other people's ideas? What about the soup Nazi and the muffin tops?
How the Army spends millions on obsolete rockets and how some private companies get rich at taxpayers' expense. Are they still wasting your money? NBC Nightly News tonight.
Do you need cash? Thousands of families have turned to J.G. Wentworth for money for medical expenses, business opportunities, debt consolidation, and new homes. If you're receiving periodic payments from a structured settlement or personal injury award and need cash, call now. Once again, if you're receiving structured settlement payments over a long period of time but need cash, call now. Call 1-800-742-8185.
At Cigna, we care about people who have babies. We care about companies that make steel and about companies that make bread. We care about life and about all that makes life great or possible or just better. At Cigna, we care because it is our business to care. But we also care because, well, we have babies too. Cigna, a business of caring.
The Tax Time Blues. Four- and five-star tax-free bond funds from American Century. Just call. Thank you. 1-800-660-0092.
We're number 15 for takeoff, so just...
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
Bulworth, the most intelligent comedy of the decade.
Yo.
Furiously original.
Senator, what is this new strategy?
Hilarious. Bulworth, rated R. Now playing in New York and Los Angeles, May 22nd everywhere.
This is NBC News at this hour.
Hello, I'm John Snyder. In the news at this hour, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is making his pitch to Congress, the Clinton administration, and also the American people. Netanyahu says he will not accept any peace proposal that does not provide a territorial buffer against terrorism. At this hour, Netanyahu is meeting in Washington for a second day with Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. U.S. officials are in Pakistan in an effort to convince India's arch rival not to conduct nuclear weapons testing. As an added incentive, a U.S. senator is proposing lifting the ban on military sales to Pakistan. The United States is warning travelers to avoid Indonesia. The country is racked by violence as anti-government protesters take to the streets for a third straight day. The U.S. is also evacuating all non-essential government employees there. The president's personal secretary has completed a fourth appearance before that federal grand jury in Washington investigating the president. Betty Curry befriended Monica Lewinsky when she worked at the White House. Curry's attorney says his client is fully cooperating.
Mrs. Curry is answering all the questions that are asked of her as best as she is able.
It was a rare look at the legal battles surrounding the investigation of the president in that same courthouse. Independent counsel Kenneth Starr told a federal judge today Secret Service agents should be compelled to testify about what they may know of the relationship between the president and Monica Lewinsky. But the Justice Department argued that forcing agents to testify would compromise future presidents' safety by making them uncomfortable around their protectors. A somber ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington, Virginia, at Arlington National Cemetery, as the military removed the remains of a Vietnam War veteran. Scientists will use DNA testing to try to identify those remains. The family of an Air Force pilot shot down over Vietnam 26 years ago requested the disinterment to see if the remains belong to their family member. The Justice Department in 20 states did not file antitrust lawsuits against Microsoft today as planned as negotiations for a possible settlement continue.
Microsoft, in return, has agreed not to ship Windows 98 to computer makers until Monday. The software was supposed to go out tomorrow. Microsoft is accused of attempting to create a monopoly by packaging its browser with its popular software. Fires in Mexico and Central America are causing a thick haze in parts of the U.S., particularly South Texas. Elderly people, those with respiratory and heart diseases, are being urged to avoid all physical exertion. All people, especially children, are urged to avoid outdoor activity and prolonged physical activity indoors. Those are the stories making headlines at this hour. From NBC News and MSNBC, I'm John Snyder. Internet with John Gibson. Internight, rather, continues in just a moment.
They're sworn to keep the president safe. Should they protect his secrets too? The Secret Service. On The Big Show with Keith Olbermann, tonight at 8 Eastern on MSNBC.
Why use an old-fashioned broom to sweep your driveway? Introducing Water Sweep. It's the world's first hydro-powered broom. The amazing jet spray quickly sweeps dirt and debris away. Use Water Sweep to thoroughly clean your walkway or patio. It powers away even the most stubborn caked-on dirt. Water Sweep is perfect for wood decks, great on brick or stone. Even the dirt in those hard-to-reach cracks is flushed away in seconds. Now you can clean your car to a sparkle without even using soap. The dirt just gets blown away. And you're sure to find dozens of other uses too. Look, cleaning out your gutters can take hours, but with Water Sweep, those leaves get washed away in no time. Water Sweep is yours through this special TV offer for only $19.95. So order now.
To order Water Sweep, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-358-7979 or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Call 1-800-358-7979 now. Sorry, no CODs.
Internight continues. Here again is John Gibson.
Can you copyright what is known around bars as a move, as in a first step towards a wonderful evening? Jerry confronts Putty about Putty using Jerry's move on Elaine.
Hey, what's the story? I hear you doing my move.
What move?
What move? My move. The one I told you about. You used it on Elaine?
Your move? What are you kidding? I was doing that before I knew you. Oh, you told me that was the ending.
The ending's the whole thing. Without the ending, it's nothing. You had nothing.
Oh, that ending was so obvious. I would have figured that out anyway. Didn't need you to tell me that stupid twist.
Swirl.
Whatever, I don't even do it.
Oh, yeah, I know. You do the pinch.
Yeah, that's right.
Is a move intellectual property, Nancy Grace?
Only if it's been copyrighted, John.
Well, can he make a claim if it has worked successfully?
Well, I'm afraid that Putty beat him to the courthouse.
So Raul Felder in the family law department, this would be yours, is Putty moving in on Jerry's copyrighted move?
No, it's tough luck in the big city. I mean, you can't copyright a move, a line of gab, a line. Telling that your grandfather's Nelson Rockefeller. None of these things. That's the way of love in the big town.
Judge Katz, there was something at stake here. It isn't just an abstraction. Sex was the reward of the move. If there is a reward at the end of it, can't one claim property rights?
Oh, I don't, as in Jerry Springer, I'm not certain. I don't think so. It's not cognizable in law, and Raul Felder's analysis is absolutely correct.
Not cognizable in the law?
I had to say something smart for
John Q. Kelly, what about the move? I mean, does Putty have the right to steal it?
You know what, John? I think we're going to have to take Bert right off the bench with all these summary judgments and directed verdicts. I just don't like the slant of these things.
He needs to recuse himself.
I think so. But with regard to Putty and the moves, it's not actionable, but it's outrageous, and he shouldn't be taking Jerry's moves like that.
He should not be taking Jerry moves.
But it's not cognizable in law, is it, John
Bert,
Kelly?
Come on.
Oh, cognizable. How about the whole idea of only selling muffin tops? This was Elaine's brilliant notion.
That's $1 million idea right there.
Just sell the tops.
Top of the muffin to you. Elaine.
Mr. Lippman?
Okay, John Q. Kelly, is that a little closer to the mark? There was an idea. It was hers. Top of the muffins. Next thing you go, the guy's making $1 million.
Not on the just taking the top of the muffin itself, but if it was a motto or a logo or something that's actually been commercialized already, it may be actionable at that point.
John, I think he stole the name too, didn't
Nancy,
he?
would you stop arguing with me
just
too?
the top of the muffin, he stole the name of the
Well, I'm saying
store.
if there was an actual name she had commercialized, that would be actionable.
Judge Katz?
Again, that's exactly right. If there was a name connected with a logo, absolutely it would be actionable. But in the absence of that, absolutely not. It's not even like a trademark violation. You just
well, all right, Joe. But how does Elaine make herself whole?
You've got to be kidding.
She sues, of course.
You know.
She sues.
No. I would loot the store, firebomb it. And then get off for some sort of emotional distress defense.
So, Raul, how does Elaine protect herself in the future from some other Mr. Littman ripping her off?
Well, you can't, because that's the way things happen. But, for instance, if she invented a pan that only made muffin tops, half a pan or whatever you would do, that's patentable.
But
that's
then it
something
wouldn't
else.
be the muffin top anymore. It would
That's
actually
right.
be
No,
the muffin
just making muffin tops. Just make muffin tops.
He's changing the facts,
Yeah.
Bert?
He's changing the fact. Obviously, if you developed a device or a mechanism or a pan that made these specially, that would be something that's patentable.
More theater of the absurd now as Kramer tries to be the real Peterman.
Hey, buddy. Remember me? You're that gangly fellow we bought the stories from.
Yeah, I'm just here to do my part. What's your name, darling?
Who are you?
Well, I'm the real Peterman.
All right, playtime's over.
So, I don't know where to go on this one. Rolf Felder, Kramer sold or his ideas for these stories got to Peterman somehow. Can he claim to be the real Peterman?
Oh, sure. He can't claim to be the real Peterman. As a matter of fact, it's a criminal charge of impersonation. The real Peterman has a claim for any damages he may sustain civilly for him impersonating him, and that's about as far as he goes. If he stole ideas that were put down in the form of a story that were copyrightable, then he has a civil claim against Peterman.
But, John Kelly, we know that Kramer isn't the type to ever fill out a copyright form. What kind of claim does he have, being who he is, which is goofball Kramer?
I'm not quite sure, John. That's a really good question. I think it goes back to, I think Rael covered it already, that just in terms of the idea itself, he might have some sort of civil action in terms of the theft of the idea and the story itself, but it'd be a tough hill to climb.
How do you get that when he purportedly sold his rights?
He sold his rights, and he later actually started a tour, the real Peterman tour, all across the city, including
I'm
garbage
going to have to non-suit you on this one. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Jerry developed what was known as the umbrella twirl. Then all of a sudden, everybody's doing his twirl.
My friend here says that he invented that little twirl you're doing.
Elaine, please. It was a long time ago. The man doesn't want a history lesson.
Teddy Padillac came up with this twirl.
I know Teddy Padillac. I worked with him on 48th and 6th.
Yeah, that's where he come up with it.
In his dreams.
All right, can we go?
By the way, you're doing it too fast. You'll disorient the customers.
Has he got a claim, Joe Tacopina, on his twirl?
Yeah, I think without question he certainly does have a claim here, John, because the twirl is something so unique, so patentable, that I think he would certainly have a claim.
Twirling an umbrella is so patentable?
Absolutely, Bert. You know, it's obvious that you're just such a liberal that you can't protect the privacy rights someone has. That's a unique...
the hanging judge.
You know, Bert, that's outrageous.
Bert, you're gone.
Are you recusing me right now, or am I recusing myself?
You're back in private practice.
Well, I mean, can the guy who's twirling the umbrella hassle Jerry for coming around and claiming his idea? I mean, is there anything here anybody can do? Look, there's $200 million at stake. Is there a lawyer here who can figure out how to get some of it?
A mask and a gun.
I'm sure Raul could probably figure out some way to figure out a claim here.
Your best shot is getting a mask and a gun. Twirling an umbrella is like getting a certain walk or tilting your hat. It's not doesn't rise to the level of something.
No, it depends on the speed, though, Raul. You can't just say that. I mean, that's
well, if you had a secret technique to twirl it 5,000 times a minute, maybe.
All right, well, that's what we're talking about here, Raul. I mean, you have to understand the facts before you could comment on something like that.
And what happens if you are a Seinfeld character and your dentist tells you a racist joke? That action, if there is one, comes right after this.
The news with Brian Williams.
The stories and people making headlines.
And the best of NBC News on MSNBC.
Weeknights at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
After the final episode,
this is as big as it gets, baby.
see why America loves Seinfeld tonight on Time and Again.
Hollywood. I own it.
Jerry, there's too much clutter. No one changed.
Change.
Everybody.
Parks, everybody wins.
Dear Christy, I've changed.
One stamp, please.
One stamp.
You can do more with the American Express card.
Oh, a rainbow.
The fountain, it works! Christy!
More change, Jerry?
Yeah, pretty much.
I talk to my mom every Sunday. Nothing big, just to stay close. Tell her what the kids are up to. And that's why I signed up for MCI 5-cent Sundays. It's just 5 cents a minute, so we can talk for half an hour for just $1.50. That same call is $4.50 with AT&T's One rate. We save more with MCI. And best of all... Hi, Grandma. We all get to talk more.
Call 1-800-Sundays to become an MCI customer.
The Isuzu Go Farther Getaway event. You get a great deal on a 98 Trooper, Rodeo, or Amiga. Offer ends May 31st.
Medium turkey chili.
Medium crab bisque.
I didn't get any bread.
Just forget it, let it go.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3!
What?
No soup for you.
Is there a discrimination action, anybody here, for against the soup Nazi?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
He's
the big
discriminating
verdict.
against short people.
That's what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Raul, what is it?
Oh, no, big verdicts. Down south, one of the chains, hamburger chains, got hit with a big verdict. Yeah, they were for refusing to serve people. No, you're in big trouble.
But that was based on racial discrimination. George is not a protected class.
This is like Denny's, you know, refusing to serve a protected class.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yes.
Absolutely.
Well, John Q. Kelly, hold on a second here. If you, let's just say you are the soup Nazi, don't you have the right to say, I'm going to sell my soup to you and not to him, and take it back if someone upsets you?
No, not if it's a distinct class that he's discriminating against. He can't do that, John.
That's right.
It was a great
That's
line,
why we
though.
said, John, that's why we said protected class.
No, Bert, I said
He's
that.
short, bald,
You did
and
not
Jewish.
say that.
But, John, is it possible the soup Nazi himself could sue Jerry for calling him a soup Nazi?
No, I think the soup Nazi's option would be not to invite Jerry to his cocktail parties and maybe take offense at it.
No, I disagree. I disagree. First of all, criminally, America does not have any laws that would make doing it a crime. Countries like Germany, believe it or not, do have laws like that. But there are liable to defamation laws here. And I think the phrase Nazi is enough to deny.
But wait a minute, it's got to be untrue, Raul.
But
isn't truth an absolute defense?
No, well, he's not a Nazi. I think.
He is the soup Nazi, Raul, and that's the truth.
Yeah, but
that's
the question is, when you say Nazi, are you defining soup, or are you just saying the soup defines Nazi? If the soup defines Nazi, then you're in trouble.
You know, you should be a lawyer.
There is such a thing in the Seinfeld world as a Budinsky, Elaine, trying to help a woman who walks without moving her arms.
Then in the laundry room, or the ATM in the building across the street, or the watch shop.
Can't you do anything about this? I mean, this woman is a psycho. Look, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean...
So what's going on there, Nancy Grace, is the woman who's harassing Elaine because Elaine makes fun of her because her arms don't move when
We've
she
got
walks.
a much, much bigger problem. Elaine reached out to the police in uniform, and they failed to respond. I see a civil rights action.
Well, yeah, without question, these officers should be facing life in prison. They certainly should be stripped of their guns and badges. If Nancy had it her way, they'd probably be facing death.
And no, Joe, I think there should, excuse me, Joe, I think there should be a death penalty involved. These are clearly special.
Bert, you're right, Bert. Aren't we dealing with a Linda Tripp issue there? Tapes, one-party state, consent. I mean, isn't Elaine up to her neck on taping?
John, no, the reason you're not is because here she's trying to get evidence to show that she's being harassed at that particular point. She's not trying to betray a confidence in order to tell it.
And those are answering machine tapes. Those are actually, people are being charged with criminal offenses for leaving messages like that.
Sounded like a terroristic threat to me.
Jerry goes to the dentist. The dentist tells anti-Semitic jokes.
Yeah, and you're an anti-dentite.
I am not an anti-dentite.
You're a rabid anti-dentite. Oh, it starts with a few jokes and some slurs. Hey, Denty! Next thing you know, you're saying they should have their own schools.
They do have their own schools.
Bert Katz, if you were accused of being an anti-dentite, what do you do?
Well, clearly it's not. You can be an anti-dentite. It's your own business here, and you're not creating a hostile work environment, so you don't have any type of civil rights action or one of the other types of violations. No, there's clearly no action here.
Ralph Felder, would you bring an action?
No, I reckon I would get far with it. You could tell jokes about anybody. Thank God there's no crime. In fact, one of the sad things on a society is you can't tell jokes anymore. People take too seriously what you say. You remember we used to tell moron jokes. Well, if you put any other label on it, now you can't tell these jokes anymore.
Uncle Leo, shoplifting. Jerry tries to help.
Excuse me, I wonder if you could do me a favor. My uncle's having a little problem with shoplifting.
Where's your uncle?
He's over there in the overcoat. If you could just kind of put a scare into him, set him straight.
We have a 5150 in paperbacks. All units respond.
5150, that's just a scare,
Sir,
right?
I'm going to have to ask you to stand out of the way and let us handle this. Swarm! Swarm!
I'm an old man. I'm confused.
You're under arrest.
I just wanted you to scare him.
Jerry, you ratted me out.
Hello?
Jerry, you ratted me out. Bert, who is the offender here, Uncle Leo or Jerry?
No, Uncle Leo clearly is the offender. Here he's in the process of stealing something.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry just simply betrays.
This is so analogous to the Kaczynski case, where the brother turns in Ted. I mean, it's a purely, Seinfeld's being a rat. He's a rat because he had some bad intentions and he wanted to divert the security. And I would have a field day with him on the witness stand.
Leo may be a shoplifter, but Seinfeld is a rat, and nobody likes a rat.
Absolutely.
John Q. Kelly, it's my understanding if you don't tell when a crime is committed, you're committing the crime yourself.
No, that's not true. You know what I'd do? I'd give the uncle immunity and flip him against Jerry and get the goods on Jerry and bring him down.
John, this is one case that you would lose, even though you're a fine attorney. In my court, I'm sorry, you ain't gonna win.
When Internight returns, Jerry drugs his girlfriend so he can play with her toys. Illegal, immoral, all you decide. We'll talk about it after this.
Sign Off on MSNBC continues. Join Jody Applegate and characters from the show about nothing that was definitely something. Next on MSNBC.
I did a great deal of research on the automobile. I looked at the Honda Civic, Ford Probe. I always came back to Hyundai.
Right now, an Elantra is just $9,999, plus factory options like air conditioning, alloy wheels, and moonroof for just half price.
I love the design of the Elantra. It's sleek, classy, car of the 90s. I got everything I wanted with this car. It impressed me completely. Take a test drive and experience it yourself.
Something is happening. Something extraordinary. And business will never be the same Because UUNet is advancing the internet with innovations like UUFax, internet-based faxing, advanced DSL services for small business, and internet-based multicasting, helping millions do more, faster, better, making us the leading internet communications company, uniting the world of business. UUNet, a WorldCom company.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the Sunday New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And when you call now, you'll get 50% off the regular home delivery price.
I enjoy waking up and having the Sunday New York Times waiting for me. I know it'll tell me things that I won't hear, read, or see anywhere else.
I get international and cultural news, and I get a jump on the week ahead.
Call now to order, and you'll get the book review, travel, arts and leisure, week in review, and the New York Times Magazine.
On Sunday mornings, we catch up on what we really love. She goes straight for arts and leisure. I check out the magazine.
So call now to enjoy the Sunday New York Times for 8 weeks with home delivery at 50% off.
Hi, I'd like to start getting the Sunday New York Times at home.
I think the only thing I enjoy more than doing the crossword puzzle is actually finishing it.
Call now, 1-800-333-8050, and get the Sunday New York Times delivered to your home every weekend.
For me, Sunday was made for the New York Times.
A little later, we're going to be talking with animal expert Jim Fowler.
Where are the cameras?
But first, we're talking with Jerry. Hey, Jerry, you drugged a woman in order to play with her toy collection. How do you feel about that?
It was great. I've done it a few more times since then.
And she doesn't know anything about this?
No, not a thing.
Well, Jerry, we have a little surprise for you. Come on out, Celia.
What kind of sick, twisted creep are you?
What is this? What is she doing here?
It's a new format, Scandals and Animals. Get it?
You think you can drug me and play with my toys? You've got another thing coming, buddy.
Go, girl.
Jerry drugged her with red wine and gravy, which made her sleepy so he could play with her toys. Nancy Grace, is this like giving someone a roofie?
Well, I don't think it qualifies if you just play with their toys, but I do see a problem. Those were mint condition toys, collector's items, and now they're no good.
John Q. Kelly, how about the tactic of Kramer in exposing Jerry to this kind of attack from this woman, telling his secret on the air? Anything there?
No, I don't think so. My guess is that Jerry signed a release before he came on the show, and he was, you know, fair game for any sort of ambush like that.
Raul?
You know, I was sort of troubled by this episode when I first saw it, because anywhere it's a crime to slip something in somebody's food.
Gravy? But turkey gravy, Raul?
Listen, turkey gravy may kill somebody if they're allergic to it. And
especially if you have my wife's turkey gravy.
Yeah, well, and I have. But
you're in trouble, Bert.
But here's the thing, it troubles me because the kids watch it and they may think, well, it's a sort of game, you add stuff to people's food. So I found it troublesome.
Bert, isn't the sleep-inducing component of turkey gravy the tryptophan from the turkey itself? A naturally occurring drug?
Yes, it does. It does naturally occur, and since he's administering a naturally occurring drug, it's not illegal at all to do it or to ingest it. I don't think you have any action here, other than the abuse of the toys, and I think the toys have every right to bring an action in my court.
Bert, I disagree with you. Natural or not, you can't put something in somebody's food that they didn't implicitly consent to. What if I put echinacea? What if I put echinacea in your food?
Raul,
I'm not permitted to
she's
do that.
drinking wine and eating turkey, Raul.
No, that wasn't what this. This wasn't what this girl signed the board for. She signed the board to eat something in particular. Here they poured gravy in a wine that had fessa, whatever it was in the thing. And,
yada, yada, yada. Master of my domain, is it immoral or illegal?
My mother caught me.
Caught you? Doing what?
You know. I was alone.
You mean?
She caught you?
Where?
I stopped by the house to drop the car off, and I went inside for a few minutes. Nobody was there. They're supposed to be working. My mother had a glamour magazine. I started leaping through it.
Maybe the action here, John Q. Kelly, is from Glamour magazine.
Why'd you have to point at me for that one?
Why not?
I owe you one for that. Not actionable. I guess he was caught red-handed. Poor George.
Red-handed
or something,
indeed.
right?
Raul, is this a counseling matter?
Well, he took matters into his own hands, but I would defer to my friend Bert Katzer. He's an expert in that field.
Bert? Bert caught speechless. Unbelievable.
I know. 250 million other people, I think that story resonates with them. I could not find any actionable cause.
Joe, I want you to defend the offender here.
I don't know what they're talking about, John.
What was he doing?
What's the problem here?
Joe
he was
knows
just
exactly
reading a
what we're
Glamour
talking about.
magazine.
He was alone and reading Glamour magazine. Do we have time for one more? Putty, Elaine, once again. Oh, we don't have that one.
They forgot to deliver your paper today.
No, here it is.
Why don't you just grab that one?
But that belongs to Mr. Potato Guy. That's his.
Come on, get it.
Well, if you want it, you get it.
Sorry, thou shalt not steal.
Oh, but it's okay for me.
Oh, what do you care? You know where you're going.
All right, that is it. I can't live like this.
Oh, no.
Come on.
All right, what did I do?
Stealing the neighbor's paper. Joe Tacopina, what is her offense there?
In the state of New York, John, she could face a year in jail. It's called petit larceny, a Class A misdemeanor.
Nancy Grace?
And she's interfering with the delivery of newspapers through the postal system.
That's a felony. Bert Katz?
It's a theft, and also the neighbor who is basically complicit or because he's encouraging her to do so is an aider and abettor.
Ralph Felder, quickly.
Federal court, violation of First Amendment.
John Q. Kelly? Give me a break, huh?
Exactly.
All right, Elaine's famous dance move when Internight returns. Don't miss that'n.
Lee Thompson, she's one tough consumer reporter fighting for your rights.
I see myself as a watchdog.
Pounding the consumer beat for Dateline NBC.
I'm trying to keep people from getting ripped off.
Going undercover.
We changed some laws. We've sent some people to jail.
Exposing scams.
Sometimes you have a chance to make a difference.
And digging for the truth.
And at Dateline, it happens quite a lot.
Lee Thompson.
I've got one of the greatest jobs in the world.
Your consumer ally on Dateline NBC.
Whoa, man. My name is Dennis Porter, and I work in the Ford Dummy Lab. They design it, we crash it. They redesign it, and we crash it again. We don't care about the damage. We care about people and lives and families. When you see it go through a crash, it really hits home. That could happen to one of my children. Government standards are basically a 30-mile-an-hour crash. We go a little further. We do it at 35. That's why we have more 5-star rated vehicles than any other car manufacturer. We go that extra mile to make sure that our cars are safe. I'm proud of that.
Last question, lewd or not, Elaine's famous dancing scene. Let us take a look at Katie Couric and Elaine on the Today Show.
Just sort of go like, no, see, you're too fluid already. It's got to be jerky. Okay, so, and then just do that at the same time. Yeah, that's not bad. Do it a little more. So, like you're listening to music.
Around the horn, is this a lewd act in public, Nancy Grace?
Look, I would never accuse Katie Couric of being involved in a lewd act, come hell or high water. No way.
What do you say, Joe?
I think we need some more of that in New York City, John. It's clearly not enough good humor and fun on the streets of the city. I applaud it.
Raul?
They don't need a lawyer, they need a chiropractor.
They need an agent.
Bert Katz?
In New York, it'd probably be a lewd act. In Los Angeles, no.
Hey, John Q.
Katie's got a second career. Good for her.
All right. Do we have time to go around the horn on how much money would Seinfeld have left if all of these suits were brought and judgments? He's got $200 million. Joe, what's he got left?
If you subtract the dollar from $200 million, you get...
Nancy, what's he got left?
Zero, negative.
She wins the prize. Raul, how about what's your guess?
Well, it depends where you go. Go to Bronx County in New York. They give hundreds of $millions away, the jury.
Bert, Jerry going to have any money?
With these lawyers, he's got 200
John Q?
He's got his furniture and the clothes on his back.
Thanks to all the guests tonight. Bert Katz, Raul Felder, John Q. Kelly, Nancy Grace, Joe Tacopina. See you later. Seinfeld tonight.
Sign Off on MSNBC continues. Join Jody Applegate and characters from the show about nothing that was definitely something. Next on MSNBC.
Is it only the uniformed agents they're talking about? Why not just ask them if they witnessed any crimes, and if they have, let them report on that and then be done with it?
Weekday mornings on MSNBC.
It's acid. It burns. It travels up.
Like a fire in my chest.
A terrible taste in my throat.
If heartburn has you by the throat, you may have the toughest heartburn. Acid reflux. For this, doctors recommend Gaviscon. Only regular Gaviscon forms a soothing, protective barrier to help keep stomach acid down, where it belongs. Mylanta can't, Pepcid AC can't. Only Gaviscon can.
Better.
Relief.
Sleep.
When heartburn has you by the throat, get Gaviscon.
You sold your home and are holding the note, and now you wait every month for the mortgage check. Why spend your time worrying about a check when you can have your cash now? J.G. Wentworth will pay you cash now and purchase the note, and you'd be free to enjoy a better life. Representatives are standing by to answer all your questions. So if you're holding the note on a home you sold, J.G. Wentworth will give you cash now. For a better tomorrow, call 1-800-786-7130.
CNA provides Dr. Gardy, team dentist for the New Jersey Devils with professional liability insurance, and can offer you a broad range of products and services to manage your risks. CNA, for all the commitments you make.
What's the matter, honey?
We'll never pay off these credit cards.
What about a home equity loan?
The bank said we have no equity.
Well, George and Lisa next door got a loan from Ditech Funding.
With no equity?
Well, Ditech let them borrow up to 125% of their home's value. They were able to pay off their credit card bills, lower their monthly payments, and the interest was tax deductible.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Gee, honey, Ditech sure solved our problem.
You mean problems?
The no equity home loan from Ditech Funding. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Have you ever noticed what's happening to the word another? It's like the N is drifting. It used to be attached to the A. Now it's attached to the other, forming a new word, nother. As in, the marble rye was in a whole nother episode. Of course, there'll never be another original episode of Seinfeld. And think about it. Our president is being investigated. The world is in the midst of a tense geopolitical standoff. And what are we talking about tonight? A TV sitcom going off the air. That is, unless you'd rather have another hour on Monica Lewinsky, because we could certainly do that for you. But instead, we figured we'd help you count down to the big sign-off. Hello and welcome to our sign-off party. I'm Jody Applegate. This living room scene will be repeated in millions of homes across the country tonight as Seinfeld signs off for good. With an expected audience of more than 75 million, the show, reputed to be about nothing, will be doing something tonight, making pop culture history. So to help you get ready for the big event, we're going to spend the next hour looking at some of Seinfeld's funniest moments. Joining us for the pregame show, as it were, are Michael Solomon of Mirabella Magazine, Jeanette Barber, a writer and producer for The Rosie O'Donnell Show and contributing writer for Notorious Magazine, Greg Gattuso, the author of Seinfeld Universe, The Entire Domain, and live from the Paramount lot in Hollywood, where they filmed some Seinfeld street scenes, is Melissa Rivers, a reporter for E! Entertainment Television. Hi there, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. We'll check in with you in a moment, but before we begin the festivities here, we want to go to another Seinfeld party at Tom's Restaurant. Most Seinfeld fans know the place as Monk's, The restaurant on Upper Broadway in New York City is one of the many places put on the map by the show, and our Lisa Kim is there live and joins us now. Hi there, Lisa.
Hi, Jody. Really big show tonight. As you can see, a crowd is gathering. Preparations are underway for a party which would start in about an hour and 20 minutes. We're expecting about 250 people to come to this party tonight to attend the Seinfeld sign-off party and finale. They're going to watch the Seinfeld, the final episode, on 14 TV monitors within this diner where Jerry and his pals always hang out. But there are going to be some VIPs, some celebrities coming. One of them will be someone near and dear to us, or once near and dear to us, Bryant Gumbel. Now, of the 150 celebrities, or of the 250 celebrities that are coming tonight, 150 got these special invitations. They're printed on plates. It says, Maxim proudly presents the ultimate Seinfeld farewell party. Maxim is a men's magazine based here in New York, and they decided to throw this party tonight for the final episode of Seinfeld. I'll tell you who's coming. Putty's coming from the Seinfeld sitcom. Who else is coming? Uncle Leo is expected. Bryant Gumbel, because he was in the puffy shirt episode. Other celebrities like Susan Sarandon, and even George Stephanopoulos, yes? A former White House aide or press aide. Anyway, he's coming tonight. A whole slew of celebrities coming tonight. The party will begin at about 7:30 Eastern time. They'll start off a little mixing around, eating, drinking. Then they'll watch the final episode starting at about 8:45, as you know. And then after that, at about 10 o'clock or so, they're going to have one big bash out here, a rap party to have the final wrap of the final Seinfeld sitcom out here with a rapper to have the rap show. Get it? Anyway, who knew? A show about nothing, and it's something out here.
So,
right, Jody?
So what are they serving there tonight? Just cereal or tuna on rye? Or?
I'll tell you, cereal, Juji Fruits, Twix bars, Fifth Avenue bars. Also, they're going to serve, I think, something else, Nantucket Nectars. They've been serving that all day. Black and white cookies, you name it. If Jerry Seinfeld liked it, it's going to be here tonight.
All right.
So will we.
Sounds terrific. Hang on to that spot. It looks like you got a good location there, Lisa. We'll check in with you a little bit later.
Okay.
Well, of course, many of the funniest moments on Seinfeld are centered around food, but Tom's Restaurant isn't the only place where Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer nosh. In this clip, Jerry gives Elaine a challenge while they wait in a Chinese restaurant.
I feel like just walking over there and taking some food off of somebody's plate.
I'll tell you what, there's $50 in it for you if you do it.
What do you mean?
You walk over to that table, you pick up an egg roll, you don't say anything, you eat it, say thank you very much, wipe your mouth, walk away, I give you $50.
All right, guys, what do you think? Why does so much of Seinfeld humor have to do with food? Is it Freudian, Greg?
It's just social. When people get together, they eat. And on Seinfeld, they're always getting together to eat and talk, and that's really what the show's all about. If it's not sitting around the diner, it's soup or Junior Mints or Drake's Coffee Cake. It's just really about food.
You know, when the show was first put together, a lot of folks said, oh, it's too New York, which some people think is code language for it's too Jewish. But it is full of babkas and black and white cookies and things that maybe people in a lot of places where they've come to know and love Seinfeld, maybe foods they weren't familiar with, that sort of a thing. Do you think that it's too New York for people? Well, obviously it's not.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't. I think it all becomes around food because everybody says Seinfeld is about nothing, but if Seinfeld was really about nothing, that would mean life was about nothing. Seinfeld was really always about life, and what's the most important thing in life would be food.
I think that they're universalities. I mean, I think that life is not about, you know, are you going to get married necessarily? It's about, are you going to get a good parking spot? Did you get invited to that party? By the way, I've got $20 if you take a sip of Brian Williams' Snapple right now.
Is that Brian Williams'
I'm
Snapple? Because, hey, I'll do anything for cash. Well, almost anything. Anyway, so it seems like minutia in general consumed these people.
Well, people can relate to minutia. I mean, I think that you know, whether or not, you know, you don't get the promotion is not necessarily funny. But I think that, a candy, being obsessed with a candy is something that everyone can relate to.
They've been accused of being almost infantile, of being preoccupied with their personal comfort and convenience and so forth, which is interesting because, I mean, they were so ironic and detached and didn't necessarily care about other people, and they're leaving. Are we genuinely sad to see them go, or do we have the same ironic detachment as the characters in the show do?
Well, I think it's kind of hip not to think it's a big deal, but I think everybody's really going to be glued to their set because these are people that we've welcomed into our living rooms for the past 8 or 9 years, and, it's going to be hard to see them go. People really make a commitment to watch Seinfeld on Thursday.
Yeah, they wouldn't care, actually.
Would they be watching the show?
They wouldn't care at all.
Right.
They'd be so self-involved and absolutely wouldn't pay any attention. These are venal characters. These are actually not likable characters in many ways.
Okay, would they watch a cable news network doing a special about the last episode of a great TV show?
That's very meta for me. Probably they would.
It's like 3 times removed.
Well, the real characters, the real people I don't think would, but the real characters would because they are so incredibly self-centered, which is one of the things I think is so appealing about them.
It's about them.
It's about them.
They love it.
And that's what real life is like. Honestly, the big moments don't make up life. Little tiny moments are what do, and I will become, and I think we all will become obsessed on these little tiny things. Some big thing happens, you can't get through the day, but if you can't find your keys, you're likely to beat yourself over the head.
You know what? My producer, who's a New Yorker, is obsessed that I get to the next commercial break. So here we go. So, were the Seinfeld characters wildly implausible, or does life in New York really make people act that way? Well, up next, why were they so darn funny for so long? Here's one view from Jason Alexander, who plays George, of course.
What made the show special is that the God that they all prayed to was the God of funny. They didn't care if it made sense. They didn't care if the characters from one week to the next were living in the same world. It didn't matter. What mattered was were you laughing. And when you can count on that for 22 minutes a week, I just think it made everybody comfortable.
They're sworn to protect his life, but if the Secret Service is forced to testify, will it affect the president's safety? On the News with Brian Williams, tonight at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
Once upon a time, there was a printer that thought it was a copier. It was fast, 32 pages a minute. This printer collated, sorted, and stapled like a copier. Even had a name worthy of a copier. And starting at just $2,900, it made all the other printers very, very sad. That's the story of the Xerox DocuPrint N32, the printer that thinks it's a copier. For your local reseller, call 1-800-34-XEROX.
You're looking at someone who just bought a house without a down payment. How? He called 1-800-71-FIXED for the Dytech 125 Green Loan. With your good credit, you too can finance up to $500,000 with no down payment. Even better is the extra cash for new furniture, to pay off bills, or whatever else is on your list. Now you can buy that house without a down payment. Call 1-800-71-FIXED for the 125 Dream Loan today.
Do you love to read, but you're busier than ever? With audiobooks, you can listen to bestsellers, self-improvement, business, or great mysteries while doing other things. Read by authors and celebrities, audiobooks offer entertainment, education, and leisure. Now enjoy 4 of your favorites for only 99 cents. Call Audio Book Club at 1-800-444-0633. Make your first selection now and receive our catalog with hundreds of titles to choose from for your other 3 audiobooks. Thrill to Street Lawyer by John Grisham, Romance with The Ghost by Danielle Steele, or Overachieve with Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and many more. Call now and receive 4 audiobooks for just 99 cents. Members receive 17 catalogs a year, with thousands of titles and discounts up to 70%. Take 1 full year to order just 2 more audiobooks. Call 1-800-444-0633 and rediscover the joy of reading by listening. Call now.
What? When did you get that? This week. My father got a deal from a friend of his. It's Gore-Tex. You know about Gore-Tex?
You like saying Gore-Tex, don't you?
Look at you. You can't even turn around in that thing.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, George, can you feel it? Can you...
All right, knock it off.
Gore-Tex coats, muffin tops, coffee table books, just some of life's little details that the Seinfeld folks obsess about. In this clip, a commonplace occurrence, losing your car in a parking garage, but it puts the Seinfeld characters to the test.
Maybe it's not on this level.
What?
There's 4 different levels. Maybe we're on the wrong level. How long was the escalator ride up?
It felt like a couple.
You should always bring a pad and a pen.
I can't carry a pen. I'm afraid I'll puncture my scrotum.
Where's the bathroom in this mall? With 600 stores, I didn't see one bathroom. What is this, like a joke? Don't they consult with a urologist when they build one of these places?
All right, what do you guys want to watch? Let's watch the Melissa Rivers Network. Melissa Rivers, of course, joining us from the back lot where there we go, this thing works beautifully.
Hi.
So is anything happening back there today, or are you all alone?
It's pretty quiet here today. I mean, I have a feeling there's a lot of activity around the Paramount lot because this was Seinfeld's home for quite a while. I mean, the big news here is that it's not raining. It's actually dry today.
Seinfeld, bigger than El Nino. Boy, that man does have power, doesn't he?
Oh, talk about big power.
So are we, like, living at ground zero here in New York, or technically Secaucus, New Jersey, but, you know, we keep that a deep, dark secret. Here in New York, I mean, it's everything Seinfeld. There in L.A., is there the same kind of buzz and mania?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a funny show. I mean, the last segment you all were talking about the characters and the minutia and this and that and the other. The bottom line is it's a very funny show, and we've all enjoyed it for so many years. And I think anywhere you go in America tonight, there's going to be a buzz about the last episode of Seinfeld. Easy for me to say.
Yeah, really. Well, you know, Jeanette, you were making an interesting point about how it's kind of a communal experience, unlike the other ones we tend to have.
Yeah, it brings us all together, but usually we get brought together by O.J. Simpson, or we get brought together by Monica Lewinsky, or these horrible negative things. And I think it does bring us together, and it also speaks of how desperate we are as a society to have something that holds us together, because there really isn't anything anymore.
As long as we don't have to get together to say goodbye to Urkel when Family Matters goes off.
Hey, when Jack and the Fat Man got canceled, I had to stay home for a week.
But that's why everybody says that there's this idea that because it's New York that we're more excited about that. You don't stay with ratings like this, a #1 show for 9 years, just out of New York, although I do think, of course, we're very powerful and important.
Seinfeld has given us a whole lexicon of buzzwords and catchphrases, and it really has created a bond, especially in the early years. The fans of the show would get together and either talk or email each other on the internet using these code words.
Greg, do you find that when you go to parties now, and maybe you two can respond to this, that people dance like Elaine?
No.
They always did. That was why it was funny.
Really? Do you dance like Elaine?
I'm not that good, but I don't have quite as much rhythm as she did,
because we
but I
do have
try.
the disco band warming up in the back.
But you do see in the episode from this season, people get assigned little duties at parties. You know, you fill up the chips, you make sure there's beer in the refrigerator, you put the coats on the bed. They really do divvy that up, and that's something that's out of real life.
A word about buzz phrases and catchphrases, that's really something they almost ripped off from Saturday Night Live. I mean, that was really a technique Saturday Night Live pioneered, where they'd give you the phrase that you'd have to say on Monday morning. With Seinfeld, you wake up on Friday and you have to be saying that.
Are we as Americans extra receptive to that because we're sort of rootless and we're from all over the world and we're immobile? I mean, we're mobile and we have less in common than a lot of people in other countries?
Actually, I think that happens. They did give us buzzwords, but I think we identify because that's what we do in life. In any job, you have your own personal ones. You know, where I work, we all say the word enjoy. I enjoy. We say it constantly. Everybody in the office. I had a friend. Everything, no matter what color it was move. And it's only funny to in your own little circle. And then Seinfeld took it so that it's, you know, we can all see it, but it's just something we all do.
So it's cool because, like, we're in a special club, even though there are 80 million people in a special club.
And it's also, look, he did it. Therefore, what I do has been valid. I think when you take little tiny life, because everybody, you know, that 15 minutes of fame we're supposed to get, I don't think that it's really fair, and I think a lot of people aren't getting their 15 minutes. And by watching Seinfeld, by watching tiny little pieces of life be made into art and be made into entertainment, people get to say, oh, my life, my paltry little life does matter.
Especially because it can be petty or jealous or bitter or lustful.
And it always is in this world.
Yeah, it's the kind of things that we don't admit to, but they're there on TV.
And speaking of catchphrases, there will be no more Festivus for the rest of us after tonight, of course, except in syndication. Ka-ching, ka-ching. And we want to know which character you're going to miss the most, if you'll really miss any of them. Will it be Jerry, Kramer, Elaine, George, Newman, some peripheral character perhaps? Well, you can take part in our live vote at msnbc.com on the internet, although be careful surfing the web tonight because of the time difference, because the way, wrong movie, TV show. Anyway, because of the time difference between New York and the West Coast, it could, the final plot could get out there, and you want to be careful. If you don't want to expose yourself to that kind of information, go on the internet at your own risk. Also, we're going to pass along the rumor at the end of the show, and we'll tell you how to not hear it if you don't want to hear it before you see the show. Well, the Seinfeld gang did not do it alone every week. They had a whole cast of secondary characters to play off of, and when we come back, we're going to look at some of them, including, of course, Newman. Wayne Knight says playing the evil mailman isn't necessarily good.
No one would admit to being Newman. I don't think anybody would walk up to Newman saying, "I'm you," and if he did, I would run.
If you're in business and on the web, and you haven't yet subscribed to the Wall Street Journal Interactive Edition, you're missing business news from around the world, updated around the clock, detailed information on thousands of companies, the ability to search the world's top publications in a mouse click, powerful personal news features. Register online at WSJ.com, and for a limited time, get 2 weeks free. The Wall Street Journal Interactive Edition, the past, present, and future of business.
I wanted something that was really fast. I'm talking hypervelocity. I play a lot of games. The graphics defy physical reality. I'm like, you mean I get to build my own computer? And they're like, yeah, that's how we do it. I'm like, sweet.
When you call 1-800-GATEWAY, we'll build a gateway computer just for you. We turbocharged Alex's PC with an Intel 400 megahertz Pentium 2 processor, their fastest one, for a great price. Whoa. Want us to build you a rocket? Call us and let's talk about your gateway.
It's famous for hushing highways and reducing wind to a whisper. It's as comfortable and quiet as you want it to be. It's steering wheel mounted audio controls that let you live your life like a movie and score your own soundtrack. It's a 210 horsepower performance, and you've got front row seats. It's the RL from Acura, the true definition of luxury. Yours.
My dad works for International Paper. He makes orange juice cartons so that orange juice can stay fresh longer.
International Paper developed a patented juice carton.
I think fresh orange juice makes you feel better.
The carton's unique lining keeps juice fresh longer.
I think my dad plays a trick on orange juice. He makes it think that it's still an orange.
International Paper, answering citrus growers' needs and yours.
I didn't get the transfer. They knew it wasn't me doing my route.
How did they know?
Too many people got their mail. Close to 80%. Nobody from the post office has ever cracked the 50% barrier. It's like the 3-minute mile.
I tried my best.
Exactly. You're a disgrace to the uniform.
In a lot of episodes, people like Newman are the source of schemes and jokes for the Seinfeld gang. There's Uncle Leo, David Putty, who's Elaine's boyfriend, of course, and George's parents doing what they do best. There we go. Play that clip. This darn thing doesn't work.
New batteries.
Yeah, what's the matter with this thing?
Let's change tables.
Get out of here. We have a booth.
Frank, I'm cold.
Order a hot dish.
Why can't we sit over there?
That's not a booth.
So who says we have to sit in a booth?
I didn't take the subway all the way to New York to sit at a table like that.
I didn't take a subway to be in a drafty restaurant.
Now, George, what do you want to know about your childhood?
Actually, I think I'm pretty clear on it.
Hey, Melissa, you know what's interesting, among other things about this show, is that so many of the characters are so unlikable. I mean, would you want to hang around with those people? No, but you'll go out of your way every Thursday night to watch them, right?
Oh, I think we all know these characters. I know a couple Georges in my life. I'm not sure I know any Newmans or Kramers, but I definitely know a couple of these people. I think we do know them. I mean, not to the caricature level that they're elevated, but we know people with all these qualities, and that's what draws us to them.
Although I saw an interview with the woman who plays George's mother, and she said you can't play it as comedy. You have to play it straight. You have to play it as a woman who's, married the wrong guy and had this horrible child and had all these bad experiences. That's why it's funny, because her life is really pretty rotten.
I think I was raised by the Costanzas. I mean, I am truly going to miss
Okay, so are they Jewish or Italian? Answer the question.
I think they're secretly Jewish, and they just don't want to admit it.
That's what Jerry Stiller said.
There's no question about it.
Yes, Jody. Can I jump in here for 1 sec?
Please.
Michael and I went to school together.
I was keeping that a secret.
And I think we know a lot of Georges.
Oh, really? Any names you'd like to care to supply us with?
No.
No.
I'm sure you dated one or two. I don't know.
Oh, that's cruel.
Although
you are
George
so
always
cruel.
dated
Don't
above
even
his
go
station
there,
in life.
Michael.
George always dated above his station
He always
because
dated up.
you couldn't do much lower than George.
You couldn't go
Michael,
down.
thank you so much. I will get you for this.
So sorry.
And by the way,
I agree that because some people say that the characters aren't real, but I agree that they are very real. It is a little bit more elevated, but I know so many Elaines. It's frightening. You really see these people all the time, and I think that's part of the magic.
I know you guys are getting peckish. We've ordered a Jerry Seinfeld TV dinner. It's going to be delivered, even though technically we're outside the delivery zone. We all remember that episode, but we'll buzz the guy up when he arrives. In our next half hour, they made us laugh at assorted forms of sex without mentioning the taboo words.
They're sworn to keep the president safe. Should they protect his secrets too? The Secret Service. On The Big Show with Keith Olbermann, tonight at 8 Eastern on MSNBC.
Furniture fills rooms with warmth and comfort. Modern furniture serves many purposes, but antiques mature into heirlooms. Tom Seeley Furniture in West Virginia combines the best of both worlds with handcrafted reproductions of antique designs. This unique manufacturer adheres to the time-honored traditions of craftsmanship quality and classic design simplicity. Tom Seeley began the business at an antique shop beside his home with a small workshop to repair, restore, and refinish collected treasures. As the demand for antiques outgrew supply, Tom applied his self-taught knowledge and began reproducing traditional antique furniture. Valuing the fine craftsmanship of furniture building, Tom's appreciation of the past has revived a time-honored tradition and created a standard of quality still evident today. Designed to be a new antique today with authentic style, design, and construction, Tom Seeley Furniture withstands the test of time to become an antique of the future. Crafted from solid wood inside and out, front to back, these are real antique replicas, both in the way they look and the way they're built. Construction methods also adhere to the traditions of fine craftsmanship, with features like hand dovetailed joints, durable hardware accessories, and individually paned glass. That construction heritage is evident not on an assembly line, but a workbench where individuals build furniture from start to finish, one piece at a time. And when a builder finishes a piece, it is signed and dated as a stamp of personal pride. This philosophy of quality also applies to the stains used on Tom Seeley Furniture, where you see and feel the wood rather than simply the finish. One piece of solid wood furniture at a time, made individually by hand. That's Tom Seeley Furniture.
This is NBC News at this hour.
Hello, I'm John Snyder. In the news at this hour, the Justice Department in 20 states will hold off on filing separate antitrust lawsuits against Microsoft. In return, the software giant will delay shipping Windows 98 to computer makers until Monday as negotiations aimed at a possible settlement continue. MSNBC is a joint venture of Microsoft and NBC. Independent counsel Ken Starr squared off with the Justice Department in federal court today at issue whether Starr can force Secret Service agents to testify in his investigation of the president. Starr says there's no lawful reason the agents can refuse to talk. The Justice Department says presidents have to be able to trust the Secret Service. No word on when the judge hearing the arguments will make a decision. President Clinton's personal secretary, Betty Currie, made her 4th appearance before Starr's grand jury today. Starr presumably wants to find out what Currie may know about Monica Lewinsky's relationship with the president. Currie's lawyer says Currie will make at least one more appearance before that grand jury. U.S. officials are in Pakistan in an effort to convince India's arch-rival not to conduct nuclear weapons testing. This afternoon, State Department spokesman James Rubin defended his department against criticism that officials should have seen the test coming.
We had in recent weeks and months 20 very high-level contacts with the Indian government in which we made clear the consequences of a failure to have restraint, and frankly they engaged in a campaign of duplicity.
The U.S. has imposed sanctions that the White House says could cost India some $20 billion. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Secretary of State Madeleine Albright are back behind closed doors. They're trying to get the Middle East peace process restarted. It's their second meeting in 2 days. Netanyahu told reporters, quote, "We work on hope." He's under some U.S. pressure to withdraw from an additional 13% of the West Bank. A federal judge in Idaho is throwing out involuntary manslaughter charges against an FBI sharpshooter. The charges stem from the 1992 siege at Ruby Ridge when the agent shot and killed the wife of white separatist Randy Weaver. The judge accepted the Justice Department argument that the agent was acting in the line of duty. Not everyone is a fan of Seinfeld. A group of demonstrators protested outside WNBC television in New York City. The WNBC reports that nearly 100 protesters are upset over last week's Seinfeld episode in which the character of Kramer accidentally lights a Puerto Rican flag on fire. The protesters burned an American flag in protest. Those are the stories making headlines at this hour. From NBC News and MSNBC, I'm John Snyder. Our Seinfeld special, hosted by Jody Applegate, continues in just a moment.
The news with Brian Williams.
The stories and people making headlines.
And the best of NBC News on MSNBC.
Weeknights at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
Traditional Jaguar elegance, but otherwise a whole new breed of cat. Boston Globe. Steady gains in every measurement of quality and reliability. Automobile Magazine.
That love of the product has come through, though, and now that we're able to give a much higher quality than they've ever seen before.
The interaction you have with the car is just so much more refined now and much more consistent.
I think making this company work and this car work has become such a passion in our lives. It's become an obsession.
For your complimentary video detailing the improvements that have placed Jaguar's quality among the best in the industry, call 1-800-842-6133. See how the automobile that defines elegance has redefined excellence.
They'll look back on this thing and have something that they experienced in their lives that didn't go to hell.
I'm Jody Applegate, and welcome back to our sign-off party, or is it awake? I'm not sure. Like millions of Americans, are you awake?
It's a Super Bowl party.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Super Bowl party. Like many Americans, we're eagerly anticipating / dreading the big event, tonight's final episode of Seinfeld, of course, in case you hadn't heard. And looking back at 9 years of Seinfeld, it's clear that sex has played a key role in many of the show's finer moments. But Seinfeld has managed to talk about sex and make us laugh at sex without ever mentioning certain words censors love to hate. As you can see in this clip, the laughs all come down to timing. A look, a pause.
My mother caught me.
Caught you? Doing what?
You know. I was alone.
You mean?
She caught you? Where?
I stopped by the house to drop the car off, and I went inside for a few minutes. Nobody was there. They're supposed to be working. My mother had a glamour magazine. I started leafing through it.
And our sign-off party guests are once again, or actually still, they're the same people. Michael Solomon of Mirabella Magazine, Jeanette Barber, a writer and producer for The Rosie O'Donnell Show, and Greg Gattuso, author of Seinfeld Universe, the entire domain. And with that episode in particular, it seems like they set up for themselves a seemingly impossible premise. Let's do a whole TV show about something you're really not supposed to talk about in polite company at all, let alone on primetime television. And they pulled it off, and they didn't offend anybody. Nobody was protesting outside NBC after that. We all, applauded them and said how clever they are.
The great thing about that episode was that if you missed the first 5 minutes, if you missed what the bet was about, you missed the entire show. You knew they were betting on something, but they never led on to what they were betting on after the first 5 minutes.
And is the kind of episode where the next morning, if you're trying to describe it around the water cooler to a friend who didn't see it, it sounds totally stupid if you try to synopsize the plot, right?
Well, not to me. I thought it was one of the most brilliant ones, and it's one of the reasons why I think that this was, for me, this was one of the best shows on television, possibly my most favorite ever.
More than Cheers?
Yes. And I like Cheers.
More than
I'm not a big television fan, frighteningly enough, since it's my business. But what I loved about it, in this episode particularly, is the risk. Because television is not known for going way out on a limb. It's known for staying in that lowest common denominator area that's going to offend nobody. And, who would do an entire show about...
Now, Michael, it's interesting because you were saying you don't even think Seinfeld is the best show on the air right now, let alone the best sitcom of all time.
It's certainly not the best sitcom of all time, in my opinion. I mean, I think I Love Lucy is far more influential and is far longer lasting in many ways. I think The Simpsons may be a better show, but I think that it's harder for people to relate to that being a cartoon. The wonderful thing about this show is these are really libidinous characters.
And immature about it.
I mean, but the question is, does Kramer have more sex than Elaine? I mean, those two really battle it out.
And
every
Elaine
week.
is really predatory, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and
she's
shameless.
definitely one of the guys.
Totally broken ground for women, I think.
Yeah.
Because women of the 90s are like that. I personally remember, yes, thank you. And I personally remember when the sponge was taken off the market, and I was devastated. I loved
Do you have a closet full of them?
No, I had to let go and go on to another.
Jody, what I like about that episode, the contest, is that Elaine was included in the contest. It wasn't just three goofy guys betting on some silly thing.
Right, but they made her pay more.
They made her pay more, but still, they let her in the bet.
Right.
We actually had a contest in the green room, and I'm out already.
And I'm sitting
Well, we did leave a field and stream in there for folks to look at. Anyway, what are some other things that they got away with?
Well, she got away with so many things in just, practically grabbing men by the hair. And she was really, like, known for not caring.
But in her relationship with Putty, he's the first guy that can sort of break her heart, which seems like it's made of stone.
Well, Putty had the move, remember?
Which he stole from Jerry.
I want to know the move. I mean, the move could do more for men than Viagra ever could, I think.
That's a classic one where, you know what, I never actually saw that episode, and someone tried to explain it to me.
Well, the question is, do you swirl or do you pinch? And, I sort of have my feeling, but I don't have to
Perhaps you can tell us about it during the break. All right, Michael.
You need a headboard first, and then you can't be more than 6 inches
All right. We don't have a bedroom set here, Greg, okay? It's the living room, so keep it clean. Yada, yada, yada.
The whole sex thing, I think, is another place where it's just like life. Because what do people talk about the most, honestly? Sex. And you don't find it in sitcoms in the way that, not the way Seinfeld does it. And it's such a reflection of life.
See, I don't think there's good and bad sex. I mean, it's not always fantastic.
And there's good and bad hosts, and good ones get us to the break. Yada, yada, yada. It's a phrase many of us cannot live without, although, frankly, I'm pretty sick of yada, yada. You guys, can we have a moratorium on it?
Hate it.
For now? Okay. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about sign language. But first, Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld's success.
I've been working long enough to know that all the elements don't come together like this every day. And so it's been a fabulous role. And I'm sure that there are other great roles out there. But my God, this has been sublime.
Log on to MSNBCSports.com and experience NBA Showtime Online, a behind-the-scenes look at your favorite team's journey to the 1998 NBA Finals. Go online daily for Bill Walton's game previews. Then check out John Sally's inside look at the key players. MSNBCSports.com, the official site of NBC Sports.
Ford claimed Expedition is biggest in its class because Chevy Suburban is so large. It's in a class of its own. We couldn't have said it better ourselves. Chevy Suburban is the largest, most powerful sport utility vehicle on the face of the planet.
There's a company out there in the business of moving things. It's not a trucking company. It's not a shipping company. And it doesn't carry packages overnight. It's a company in the business of moving ideas. Via long distance, wireless, video, internet, directories, and local telephone lines. What's the name of this company? Well, it begins with G, and it ends with GTE.
What's the matter, honey?
We'll never pay off these credit cards.
What about a home equity loan?
The bank said we have no equity.
Well, George and Lisa next door got a loan from Ditech Funding.
With no equity?
Well, Ditech let them borrow up to 125% of their home's value. They were able to pay off their credit card bills, lower their monthly payments, and the interest was tax deductible.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Gee, honey, Ditech sure solved our problem.
You mean problems?
The no equity home loan from Ditech Funding. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Yada sex. Really? Yeah. I met this lawyer. We went out to dinner. I had the lobster bisque. We went back to my place. Yada, yada, yada. I never heard from him again.
But you yada yada over the best part.
No, I mentioned the bisque.
Ouch. Scathing remark from Elaine there. Well, part of the Seinfeld legacy is sign language, as it's called. Words and phrases like Festivus, regifting, and not that there's anything wrong with that. And who could forget the new spin George put on the word shrinkage.
Do women know about shrinkage?
What do you mean, like laundry?
No.
Like when a man goes swimming afterwards?
It shrinks?
Like a frightened turtle.
Why does it shrink?
It just does.
I don't know how you guys walk around with those things.
Does it seem plausible to you that Elaine would not know about shrinkage?
No,
woman of the world as she is.
No.
I felt so betrayed when they revealed that. I just think that's a male code. You don't say that out loud.
No, I think men would want that known, because then we'd know to extrapolate.
I just think it's very sweet that you might have thought for an
and-
instant that we didn't know.
Yeah, I suppose that's
And that
my
we didn't
naivete.
talk about it.
Right.
We just talk about everything.
I think it just shows how naive men are, that they always underestimate how much women know and how much women get out of a relationship.
Well, they're also a little bit more obsessed with certain body parts than women actually are.
So, Melissa, Jeanette here thinks that Elaine actually advanced the cause of women.
Yes,
Who knew? Let's get Gloria Steinem on the phone. What do you think? Think Elaine was one of the guys, a full equal to the rest of them, and advanced the cause of women?
I think in a way she did, but she didn't. I think there's a lot of women out there like Elaine that have a lot of guy friends, maybe more so even than girlfriends, but she just called it as she saw it. I mean, she talks to her friends the way a lot of us do talk to our male friends. There's not a lot to hide anymore. So I think in one sense she did, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is such a strong personality anyway, and it just came through the character, and I think, I'm not sure it advanced the cause of women,
you know
but
what
it was
I heard?
funny along the way.
You know what I heard about her is that she likes her name to be pronounced Dreyfus. It's not Dreyfus, it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's going to be a
But
catchphrase tomorrow.
Dreyfus? Dreyfus
I didn't do well in French, so I'm going to mangle it anyway because it is actually a French name.
Is it, or is it German,
Yes.
meaning 3 feet, which would explain her dancing?
No, I just call her Julia like I know her because the ending is too difficult for me.
Yeah, I just call her Julia, too. I used to think she was Julia Louise when she used to be on Saturday Night Live, but hey, I was dumb. Anyway, regifting, double dipping, close talking, low talking, These are all phrases that we got from Seinfeld, and I was interested to read that the show bombed in Germany. It's a big hit in England, it's a big hit in Australia.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think they're too happy with the idea of like soup Nazis in Germany for some reason.
So you think it's that more so than it loses so much in the translation literally? Because Jerry says it's about language. It is about something, it's about language.
To New York for Germany.
But it plays in
I don't think it's too New York. I think it's too American. Yeah. I think it's very, very cultural, and it reflects the urban society, the unmarried urban society, and we didn't have a voice, as much of a voice before, because it was all this, you know, family stuff, which I'm not fond of.
Ironically, it was replaced in Germany by Hogan's Heroes reruns.
Noted for its realism. No, actually, I mean, that kind of shoots your theory. If they didn't like the soup Nazi, how are they going to like Colonel Klink?
Well, my point is, though, that sort of shows why it's probably not the greatest sitcom of all time. I mean, Lucy would probably play in Lucy plays everywhere, somewhere, everywhere a day in the world, Lucy is playing.
But Lucy, no, well, this isn't about Lucy, but although that was a lovely sitcom, it was, it didn't reflect real life. It didn't go deep. It didn't risk things. It didn't have the depth of a message, I think, as a philosophy.
Speaking of the soup guy, we're calling him the soup guy not to offend anyone. Anyway, coming up, the soup guy, the contest. We'll talk about our favorite episodes and the Seinfeld pop culture phenomenon. But first, Elaine's boss, Mr. Peterman, has some words of wisdom for us.
Don't go too far away because you are watching MSNBC. I'm not here, actually. I am stalking the wild blue-footed boobies in the Galapagos Islands.
Seinfeld's signing off, but you can still see new footage of your favorite gang with Jane Pauley.
What? What did I say?
On Time and Again, next on MSNBC.
What do I want? I want to know I'm headed in the right direction. I want to keep my options open. I do want to take care of my family. I want to give something back. I want to learn, find what's right for me, be ready for anything, make the right choices. I want to find the people who can get me there.
American Express financial advisors can help you decide what you want to do and how to get there.
I want to say I made a difference. I want to do more.
Let me wrap you in my warm and tender love.
All it takes to make Velveeta salsa dip is some Velveeta, Taco Bell salsa, and a few minutes. Because you have better things to do at a party besides cook. Velveeta, made to melt.
Sure, I'd like to be financially prepared for whatever might be coming down the road, but I'd also like to be prepared to build a house someday, right here.
Schwab's Mutual Fund OneSource gives you access to hundreds of no-load funds. And our valuable tools can help you build your portfolio. Call now for our free select list.
Because anything you can dream of doing later, you can begin planning now.
What would you give to be more confident? What would you give for the knowledge it takes to move with certainty through every business day?
Just $3.90 a week brings you the Wall Street Journal. Our personal finance guide and decision maker software is free with your paid 10-week subscription. Call now, 800-952-2626. That's 800-952-2626 for the Wall Street Journal.
Long before he was the inspiration for a Seinfeld episode, many actually, and before he was known by millions of people, New Yorkers were buying soup from Aliegina on West 55th Street. But all that changed one fateful Thursday night, and the soup guy became a pop culture icon.
Medium turkey chili.
Medium crab bisque.
I didn't get any bread.
Just forget it. Let it go.
Excuse me, I think you forgot my bread.
Bread, $2 extra.
$2, but everyone in front of me got free bread.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3! What? No soup for you.
All right, and after tonight, no more Seinfeld for you. You know what's interesting, Michael, is you were saying long before...
I worked across the street from the soup
You
guy
used
for
to go
years,
to the
and I
guy
went to
every-
him. Therapy has gotten me away from it, but I mean, the abuse they show in there was nothing like the abuse this guy gives out.
Really?
I mean, first of all, and
toned
also,
it down?
the thing is, you're paying like $10 for soup. It's
You get bread if you're nice.
You get bread if you're really lucky, and
Are we
maybe you get a
getting
piece
soup
of
or bread?
fruit. It's the
We're
most.
supposed to be getting
Yeah,
food.
where is the food, by the way? Are we getting food?
We
I
called,
was
but
promised
it's like
food.
it's
Also,
in
I
Brooklyn.
need the remote, I think. I can't be without the remote.
He's very dominant.
Am I married to you? Because I don't... well,
Thank
we ordered it, but we don't live in the delivery zone, and I tried to get them to deliver it to you, a utility closet at 30 Rock, and they're like, you're out of the... It's Secaucus. They're like, we're not coming through the Lincoln Tunnel, but we'll see. I don't know. It's supposed to arrive. Anyway, there are lots of restaurants in New York delivering Jerry Seinfeld TV dinners to people all across the place so that they can have their parties and so forth. Anyway, Melissa, I understand you interviewed the soup guy. Now, was it the actor who plays the soup guy or the real soup guy?
I actually got to spend like half a day with Larry Thomas right after he got his Emmy nomination.
The actor.
The actor.
Right.
And what you're all talking about bread. Well, bread, money. Here we go. Here's my little segue into this. What's fascinating to me about the whole Seinfeld as a series is how much it did for character actors and people in the industry. I mean, these people would do these guest starring roles, and their careers would take off. And we remember so many of the guest characters almost as well as we remember the regulars.
Yeah.
I mean, the
that's a
soup
great
guy.
point. And I think also that, some of the major actors who would go on the show and just take bit roles.
Or like Keith Hernandez.
Well, Jerry's girlfriends are like Bond girls. I mean, he's just incredible. Every week there's another fantastic
And
girl.
they're all beautiful.
That's a great point.
and
They
they're
are
all-
just like Bond girls.
They're almost all perfectly reasonable, wonderful, terrific girls that you'd love to date or whatever, and then... Is that the buzzer?
Do I have to get up and
get
get
that.
the food?
Yeah, go hit that thing on the wall, Greg, and let the guy in. No, not really. Anyway, glad you could make it.
If you guys are out of the delivery area, I'm really out of the
Yeah,
delivery
really are.
area.
You'll be getting your cheesecake in August.
Great.
Anyway,
Beautiful thing.
so cool.
Wait, is this from Schnitzer's or what?
Well, it's from Junior's, which, hey, are you guys the ones who make Junior Mints?
No,
No,
we make
wrong,
Junior's
wrong
cheesecake.
episode. Anyway, cool.
But I
Black
do
and
have
white
some
cookies.
Junior's,
Terrific.
some cereal for you.
You got cereal.
Junior
You got
Mints.
milk for the cereal.
Tic Tacs.
You got Tic Tacs.
Wow, look at this.
All right, good. We got soup. We got everything.
Pastrami
Excellent.
on marble
I
rye.
tell you what, you guys nosh. In the meantime, time is running out, and the time for goodbyes. Go ahead, don't let me disturb you. The time for goodbyes is drawing near. We will look ahead to the final episode coming up after this, and we will let you guys make your guesses, and we'll tell you the rumor if you want to hear it, but you don't have to hear it. It'll all make sense. But even without Seinfeld every Thursday night, the sight of Kramer skidding through Jerry's door will not soon be forgotten.
They brought me in, they wanted to create a character that had great oddity, and so that was my task.
Stories that move you. Reports that matter.
Bank Examiner's Unit?
They work hard.
Weekend Magazine with Stone Phillips on MSNBC.
Being in the right place at the right time. That's what news is all about. That's why the people of NBC News are always there for you on MSNBC.
The new leader in cable and internet news is MSNBC. When you really want to know.
You know when you're traveling, you look for things you know. Things that are familiar, that make you feel comfortable. Things that make you feel at home. That's why it's always so good to see the Howard Johnson sign. We offer families great low rates, and kids stay free and get free fun packs featuring Scholastic's The Magic School Bus. It's always a magical voyage when kids go Hojo.
Howard Johnson makes you feel at home.
Do you need cash? Thousands of families have turned to J.G. Wentworth for money for medical expenses, business opportunities, debt consolidation, and new homes. If you're receiving periodic payments from a structured settlement or personal injury award and need cash, call now. Once again, if you're receiving structured settlement payments over a long period of time but need cash, call now. Call 1-800-742-8185.
teach these kids a lesson. Where's that hose I put under your sink?
Hose under my sink. I love you, Kramer.
I love you too, buddy. And George, I don't want to hear it, Kramer. Listen, when I give you the signal, I want you to turn this water on full blast.
Signal? Which signal?
No, I'll yell, Hoochie Mama.
All right, if I do it, will you buy a computer?
On the signal, George, on the signal.
Only if you buy, I gotta make a sale. I love you, Costanza.
Remember, you shut up! No, George! Turn on the faucet! George, turn on the faucet! Hoochie Mama! Hoochie Mama!
It has been one of the best-kept secrets in Hollywood. Despite all the rumors and speculation, it's still not clear exactly how or whether Jerry, George, Kramer, and Elaine will part ways tonight after 9 years.
Could you move your car back a little? Oh, sorry. I seem to have cut you off.
All right, I think I know where this is going, and I am going somewhere else.
You can't do that. You can't just leave the group.
I've been trying to leave this group for 10 years. Vaya con Dios.
Con Dios? That's rude.
All right, what do you guys think about the last episode?
Outside the delivery zone, and who's going to pay for all this stuff?
Well, I'm not going to pay for it. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to pay for it, because I'm becoming disfigured. I'm getting bread in my teeth. And this is just, I'm sure what they would do, but because I couldn't possibly pass up the free food, I've got food stuck in my teeth. So
I'll get the next one.
it could be whatever it is.
I only
You know
have
what? I'm
hundreds.
not paying for something that's making me look like a fool on TV.
All right,
So
I tell you
but I'm
what,
not going to stop eating either.
make yourself at home and help yourself. How would that be, since you brought all the food
All right,
anyway?
then
So what do you expect from the last episode, Michael?
I think
Prediction.
the Korean War will end and they'll all go home is what I'm looking forward to.
I think Jerry wakes up in bed with Suzanne Plachette. What do you think?
That's reasonable.
Or he's in the shower with J.R. Ewing, or I don't know, something like that.
I think they're going to go, I think, I'm not sure if I think or if I hope, but that they're going to go way out on a limb, because that's, for me, has always been my favorite part of Seinfeld. They risk, they're edgy, and they are so dark. They're constantly having death, and I so enjoy death on television.
Die in the final episode?
Or maybe they'll get maimed. I'm optimistic. I just want something.
I think Babu, the restaurateur, should come back and exact his revenge on Jerry and his friends for getting him deported 5 years ago.
The bottom line is I think it's going to be funny. I think that's all they really want, and it doesn't really matter what the plot is, because I think funny is their god.
Melissa Rivers is on the back lot where they shoot a lot of the exteriors, which really look like the Upper West Side of Manhattan, but it's Southern California. You don't happen to know what the final plot is, do you, Melissa?
I don't know, but wouldn't it be great if it was all just a giant ratings ruse that tonight it's not going to be the end? That it's all just a big ploy
But
to
wouldn't
get
that
people to
alienate all the viewers? They'd be like, you know what, we don't want to see it anymore if you're going to toy with our emotions like that.
Well, we would all stand back and just say they've outsmarted us once again, because it
They
has
alienated us before with the death of Susan, Melissa. Remember when they killed off the only likable character?
But they didn't build up our affection, or whatever you want to call it, for her.
I mean, the bottom line is it's one of the hippest, funniest shows that we've had on TV probably in the last decade. I am going to go with Michael and say it's probably not the funniest show ever, but it's right up there in probably the top 5. I mean, it's a great loss to people who watch TV.
All right.
Now,
you know what? Now's the time for us to reveal, if you want to know, what is believed to be the final plot. This is the hot rumor. What we're going to do is we're going to write it on the screen, and we're going to play some music. So cover your eyes until the music ends. That way you will not find out ahead. This is how they do the scores with the Olympics, when they're given the thing but it hasn't aired yet and they don't want to spoil it for people. So close your eyes right now if you do not want to know what the hot rumor is about the final episode. It's been published in a lot of newspapers, and you can open your eyes when the music ends. Maestro, please. All right, it's safe to open your eyes. It's interesting that all you guys covered your eyes, although Alan, the delivery guy, I saw you cheating slightly.
Well, he's trying to find somebody to pay him.
Yeah, really.
Where's my wallet?
Yeah, really. You know what? Lisa Kim is out at Tom's Restaurant, which is called Monks on the show anyway. It's on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, 110th and Broadway, and you know what? I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be a bigger crowd, Lisa.
Well, it's starting to gather. It's been a big crowd all day, Jody. So if you got Juji Fruits and Junior Mints and maybe some cereal, then you're ready to party. That party begins here at Tom's Restaurant in about a half an hour or so. The 250 VIPs and celebrities will be driving up, being led out into the restaurant to watch the final episode, and then after that, one big block party here, but it's a private party. You have to have a special invitation. Jody?
All right, are you going to crash those gates, Lisa? Or do you have an invite?
Sure, you know me, Jody. I like a good time.
What would Elaine do? Of course she'd crash it and do a stupid dance. Anyway.
I won't do it for you, Jody.
Oh, maybe afterward. Thank you very much, Lisa Kim. Appreciate it. Thanks very much to all you guys. Thank you for the food, Alan. And that wraps up our sign. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you. That wraps up our sign-off pregame party here on MSNBC. I'm Jody Applegate. If you would like to share your final Seinfeld experience online, our internet correspondent Mary Kathleen Flynn will be hosting an online chat from 8 to 10 Eastern tonight. But again, be careful because if you're on the West Coast, you could find out things you don't really want to know. And, of course, you can watch the final episode of Seinfeld while chatting with other fans and MK Flynn at the same time at msnbc.com. Thank you very much for joining us. You guys want to hang out here and just watch the show here in the studio and watch them do news cuttings every half hour?
Is it on tonight?
Yeah. Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Yes?
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, but I get to watch this 3 hours after everybody else.
Sorry.
Seinfeld's signing off, but you can still see new footage of your favorite gang with Jane Pauley.
What? What did I say?
On Time and Again, next on MSNBC. This is not your typical Washington story, and he's not your typical political reporter. Join Keith Olbermann for the White House in Crisis, tonight at 11 Eastern on MSNBC.
American Century's 5-star equity growth fund consistently beat the S&P 500. Call 1-888-ACI-FUNDS.
Someday I'd like a slightly larger house. Security for my kids, maybe even a little bit for retirement. All right, a lot.
Schwab's Mutual Fund One Source gives you access to hundreds of no-load funds. And our valuable tools can help you build your portfolio. Call now for our free select list.
Because part of setting a goal is finding a way to reach it.
Something is happening. Something extraordinary. And business will never be the same. Because UUNet is advancing the internet, growing our network 1,000% per year, adding thousands of miles of fiber and hundreds of thousands of new modem ports, helping millions do more, faster, better, making us the leading internet communications company, uniting the world of business. UUNet, a WorldCom company.
Just mix Velveeta and chili together. It's delicious. It's...
Birds use color to attract other birds.
The long goodbye, remembering Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer as Seinfeld signs off. I'm Jane Pauley, and this is Time and Again.
The following program is brought to you in living color. Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you.
This is Lowell Thomas in New York.
The Beatles emerged off the
And go, my fellow Americans! I'm Chet Huntley, your host on...
We have 73 television cameras on Mayday Road.
President Nixon is actively... One small step for man.
Hello and welcome to Time and Again. When is it impossible to have too much of nothing? Well, when the subject at hand is Seinfeld, the show that for 9 years has built an enormous following while claiming to be about nothing. It isn't, of course. Seinfeld is about the misadventures of 4 New York neurotics named Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer. You know them well. The show built its success by rising above the usual sitcom formula of predictable jokes and two-dimensional characters, instead finding genuine humor in the mundane details of everyday life. From the beginning, Jerry Seinfeld said he wanted to go out while he was still on top, and he wasn't joking. Now his show joins the pantheon of gone but not forgotten TV legends, including I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, MASH, and Cheers. On this episode of Time and Again, we linger a bit with Jerry and the gang by way of the NBC News archives. Let's begin with my own look behind the scenes at Seinfeld for Dateline in 1993. Jerry Seinfeld may or may not be master of his domain, but he's the undisputed master of the mundane.
I mean, I was looking at chicken of the sea tuna the other day in a supermarket thinking, what kind of a stupid name is that? What do they think? We don't know what a fish is? They got to tell us, well, it's like a chicken, see, but it's not really a chicken, of course. Why don't you think of it as a chicken in the sea, and then maybe you'll have some idea what we're selling here. I mean, what a really insulting name that is for tuna. Chicken of the sea? You know, chicken, I don't ask for tuna of the land.
That's Seinfeld humor. Funny little annoyances you'd never notice but recognize immediately. It's made his show the #1 adult comedy and his book a bestseller.
I never needed to be this successful. Never. I was just happy that I could do comedy and not work. In fact, that was the hardest thing for me to adjust to doing the series, is that I was going to work in the morning. And I wanted to scream to people, I'm not one of you, you know. I'm not just working. I really was embarrassed, because my whole life up to that point, me and my friends who were comedians, you know, we would hang out during the day. We used to go down, you know, like 6th Avenue and watch everybody come out to lunch, and just love to watch them. Go back to your buildings, you know. Lunch hour is over. We're staying out, you know. It was just playing hooky. It was prolonging youth.
It seems like everybody is playing hooky on the Seinfeld show. The thing people here do best is just hang out. In Jerry's apartment, in the diner, back at Jerry's apartment again. In Jerry's world, life is what happens when you're doing nothing.
All right, Ma, I'll talk to you later. Nothing. I'm watching Tiny Toons here on Nickelodeon.
The Seinfeld show is life at its most ordinary. No wonder the show gets unsolicited scripts by the dozens every week. The storylines are so thin sometimes they're hard to find at all.
I remember in our first season we did a story where it was really just Elaine, Jerry, and George waiting for a table at a Chinese restaurant. And they said, there's no story.
Well, how do you promote that?
How do you fill that? What do you say? How do you do? What, 3 people waiting?
I don't see any way we can eat and make this movie.
Oh, well, I have to eat.
Well, let's just order it to go. We'll eat it in the cab.
Eat it in the cab? Chinese food in a cab?
We'll eat it in the movie.
What? Where do you think you're going? Do you think that they have big picnic tables there?
But certain subjects are a little more difficult to deal with than others. And I don't, you know, try not to shy away from something that might be hard to handle. And sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't.
My mother caught me.
Caught you? Doing what?
You know. I was alone.
You mean? In fact, in the show, correct me if I'm wrong, you never use
That's correct.
the word.
That's correct. We never use that word, which is part of the reason it worked.
All right, I'll tell you this stuff. I am never doing that again.
What? You mean in your mother's house or all together?
All together.
Give me a break.
Right.
You don't think I can?
No chance.
You think you could?
Well, I know I could hold out longer than you.
Care to make it interesting?
Sure, how much?
$100?
You're on.
Wait a second. Count me in on this.
You? Yeah. You'll be out before we get the check.
This now legendary episode, called The Contest, was written by Seinfeld co-producer Larry David. Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld are the brain trust behind the show. Old friends who like to make everything a contest, even the shoes they wear. Case in point, Jerry wore new shoes to our interview. Not his trademark sneakers, but actual shoes.
You know, like when I come in tomorrow morning, we're going to discuss these shoes for 20 minutes.
He's confident these shoes will get Larry's attention. They did.
You think those are better than mine?
I can't have this conversation.
You like those better?
I think kind of fits your
The contour was better.
The contour.
Yeah.
Like me, you may wonder, what's the game here?
The sport of it is to get it first, you know. To out-order the other person in the restaurant, to get the better thing. That's the true contest of life.
The cast makes ritual sport of dinner once a week at a restaurant that's the real-life equivalent of the diner on the show.
I find myself going to the diner with these guys and ordering heart-stopping meals that I know are going to take years off my life just to one-up them. I don't know where this comes from. You know, we don't fight duels anymore, so we just order kids.
Have you, in fact, won such a competition?
I have floored them on occasions. Yeah.
With what kind of a
Well,
dish?
you know, when you start ordering fries with gravy and pastrami/roast beef club sandwiches at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty daunting.
If you ordered something that sounded good, Jerry, I wouldn't hesitate to say me too.
Oh, but then you automatically, that's an automatic forfeit. If you imitate if you get what I ordered, then that's an automatic forfeit because I'm the one that discovered it on the menu. Your only chance to beat me is to find something better.
Is everything a competition?
If you want to have fun, it is.
How come I didn't get a Christmas card? Everybody else got one. Jerry got one. Kramer got one. I thought we were good friends. I don't get a Christmas card. I don't get it.
You want a Christmas card? You want a Christmas card? All right, here. Here's your Christmas card.
We'll have the rest of my 1993 look at the Seinfeld phenomenon, including the building of Team Seinfeld, how Jerry cast the roles of George, Elaine, and Kramer.
Lee Thompson, she's one tough consumer reporter fighting for your rights.
I see myself as a watchdog.
Pounding the consumer beat for Dateline NBC.
I'm trying to keep people from getting ripped off.
Going undercover.
We've changed some laws. We've sent some people to jail.
Exposing scams.
Sometimes you have a chance to make a difference.
And digging for the truth.
And at Dateline, it happens quite a lot.
Lee Thompson.
I've got one of the greatest jobs in the world.
Your consumer ally on Dateline NBC.
I like very much being able to find a book for certain and to order it very quickly without standing in a line and without any hassle.